Hi there, I'm Fritz and today I'm going to cook for you. Now before I start, I'd just like to say a little bit about why I'm doing this. Like, you know, you see your TV chefs like Jamie Oliver, Nigella Lawson, Gordon Ramsay, who are amazing chefs and do the most wonderful dishes, but it's not always cost effective to those on a lower budget, you know, for buying and cooking and all that sort of thing. Like, so I want to do this for people who are on a lower budget, who can, you know, make really tasty meals with, you know, the lower budget that you can get from local supermarkets like Tesco's, Asda, Morrison's, etc. Like, yeah. Secondly, I'm doing it because I know there's a lot of people out there who struggle with cooking, you know, and don't know how to make a good meal. They can do the basics, but you know, this is to show that you can do something a bit better. Like, you know, you can do something that's going to impress your guests if you have a dinner party or anything like that, like, and it's going to taste good. You know, I've had loads of friends of mine when I cook for them who turn around and said, "Wow, Fritz, how did you cook that? Like, you know, the flavours in it are amazing," and all that sort of thing. Well, this is why we're here. This is what we're going to be doing. Now, in the two previous shows, I've done a spaghetti bolognese, and I've done a chicken curry and tandoori chicken. Yeah. So this time I'm going to go for like a vegetarian option and a pescatarian option, so you know, that's for your fish eaters and stuff like that. Like, so today we're going to do a prawn curry, and we're going to do a sprout curry, and we're going to do Bombay potatoes. So you know, you can mix and match. If you're not into the prawn curry, there's always the sprout curry. If you like your fish, then the prawn curry is going to be for you. Like, and the Bombay potatoes, they're always awesome. Like, so without further ado, let's crack on. Okay, so firstly, I'd like to introduce you to the ingredients that we're going to be using. And there's 2 jars of tikka masala sauce, 2 jars of madras sauce. Now you'll notice that there are 2 different makes, and the reason for that will become apparent as we make the meal. There's some microwave pilau rice, 2 onions, a bag of sprouts, and some mushrooms. We also have a tin of chopped tomatoes, some tandoori spice blend, some fish sauce, a packet of Bombay potatoes mix, a packet of potatoes, and 2 bags of large prawns. Now you'll also notice a Faustino the 7th wine at the back there, but that's more for my personal use than it is for the cooking. Okay, and on we go. One of the ingredients I forgot to add in is a tub of double cream. Okay, so let's get the party started. But before I do, I just want to say a bit about my cooking situation. Over a year ago, I found myself homeless and I'm in temporary housing. Now the only cooking facilities they have here is a microwave and a toaster. So, you know, it kind of limits on what you can do, sort of thing. So I took a little bumble down to B&M's, picked up a twin hot plate by Tower, a small oven by Tower, and a Georgie Foreman grill. Now, you know, that has opened up so many opportunities in terms of cooking for me. So we're going to crack on with the Bombay potatoes now, and of course, as it starts, it's all preparation. So we're going to be peeling spuds, cutting onions. Okay, on we go. Now obviously I don't need to show you how to peel spuds, so I'll keep this brief. Okay, so all in all I used 4 medium-sized potatoes, which will be enough for this. But yeah, that's the first part done. So next, on with the onion. Okay, so it's all set up, ready to go now. We're just boiling the kettle to get the water on the boil so the potatoes don't take as long. Got the frying pan set up, splash of oil around the bottom ready for the onions. So yeah, and on we'll go for the next bit. Okay, so the kettle's now rumbling towards the boil. There we are. Okay, so we take that and we fill up the saucepan with some water. Turn on the jet. Okay, so we let them boil now for about 10-15 minutes, just to parboil them, because we don't want them fully boiling, because we don't want them mushing up and, you know, turn into sludge sort of thing, or mashed potato, whatever you want to call it, sort of thing. So we'll take this opportunity now to add the onions. them, again with the onions, you know, you don't, you just brown them really, sort of thing. That's all we really need before they're added to the potatoes. Okay, that's all looking really good. The onions are pretty much done. I'm just gonna put the onions by there for the time being, just to, you know, so they don't overcook, so all right. Okay, so I think it's safe to say that potatoes are done now, so I'm just gonna quickly drain the water off. Okay, so that's the water drained off. Next thing's next. Oh, it's still on, isn't it? So I'm just going to turn that one off for a little sec. I'm going to put this one back on. Now before anything happens, I'm going to quickly get the chopped tomatoes, yeah, and pour them over the top of the potatoes. Set. Let the liquid get down to the bottom so we don't burn the potatoes at the bottom. Okay, so we've got a wooden spoon. I'm just gonna, you know, make sure it all gets down there. And so the next thing's next is we get the onions. Put them over the top as well. We're not getting any of the fat in there if we can help that. I say fat, it was extra. Was it extra virgin oil? Mix the pot up. So we're going to try and get the onions mixed in as well nicely now, right? A bit limited on pot size, but I'm sure that we can do this. Done it before. Oops, there we go. We lost a couple of onion bits. And I'm going to turn the heat down a bit because all we really need to do with it now is simmer it. We grab our Bombay potato mix. That's the Schwartz one. There we go. That goes over the top. And we mix that in as well to make sure that gets everywhere in there. Oh, we can already smell the spice in that. It's nice and fair play. So you can already see some of the potato mashing up a little bit, which is fine. It adds nicely to the flavour of it, so I think it's a nice little texture and it's a wonderful flavour, fair play. Mix it in, make sure it's all mixed through. And yeah, oh, looking good, looking good. I'm going to get a smaller saucepan and we're going to make a start on the sprouts for the sprout curry. So I'm going to pour some water into there. Put it on there, start it up on the boil, and we grab our little bag of sprouts. Start putting them in. There we go. Okay, so while the sprouts are boiling up and the Bombay potato is simmering, next we're going to do some mushrooms for the curry itself. Well, for both curries actually. Okay, so like with the potatoes, I probably don't need to show you how to peel and cut mushrooms, so I shall keep this brief. Right, next we're going to chop another onion, this time for the curry. So I'll quickly do that, get that out of the way. Sprouts are still coming along. The Bombay potato, in fairness, I think is pretty much ready to go, so I'm going to take that off for the time being. Put the lid on and leave it to one side, and we're going to bring the frying pan back into use. We're going to add the mushrooms. I'm going to chuck the onion in on top of that. And that and cook together. There you go, extra virgin olive oil. I'm just going to stick a splash more in just to be on the safe side. So there it goes, over the top there, that's it. Right, I've washed this out. This is the tub that the mushrooms came in. So next, I'm going to open the prawns and pour them in. One knot and a second knot. Put them in there like so. So spread them out nicely around the bottom there. Tandoori spice blend. I'm going to pour that in on top of the prawns. That's it. Give it that nice little spicy sort of thing. And mix it in by hand like so. Wow, the prawn's looking good, isn't it? Fair play. There you go, as you can see, the mushrooms and onions are near enough done. I probably should have cooked them in the wok, like so. I'm just going to pour all that in there. Right, next thing's next. As I say, we're going to add our jars of curry sauce to the mushrooms and the onions, like so. So that's one tikka masala, second jar of tikka masala, a jar of madras. And here's a second wooden spoon, not to be confused with the spoon that I used for the Bombay potatoes. And we're going to give that a nice little stir up now and get the mixes of flavours going. There we are. That's the mushrooms, the onions, and 3 jars of curry sauce now. So I'm stirring up nicely like so. And it looks like the sprouts are done. So what I'm going to do with them now is just drain off the water. Okay, so I've drained the water off the sprouts now. And as remember, we had the second jar of madras. Well, on the lids of these, of this particular make, they do a madras powder, which is basically for flavouring before you cook with the sauce itself. Just take it, see, it's all there, and we just cover the sprouts in it. Maybe for about 10 minutes or so, just to, that's it, there we go, so that one, crush up the powder, that's it, and then give it a little swizzle round so all the sprouts get a bit covered with it, obviously apart from that one on the top. That's it, and they all get a little taste of the madras. So I'm going to leave that marinade now for about 10 minutes or so. Okay, so the sauce is bubbling up nicely now. So what we're going to do next is grab our cream and give it a liberal pouring, and then we're going to mix that in. Remember that for the amount of cream that I'm putting in, there are like 3 jars of curry in here, like, yeah. This will be absolutely gorgeous when it's done because it adds that that creamy texture to the sauce, sort of thing. You know, so you've got the nice bite of the madras, you've got the nice sweet flavour of the tikka masala, and then you've got this nice creamy sort of background to it as well, sort of thing. So it makes for a nice mix of flavours. Okay, so the sauce is bubbling away nicely here now. So next thing's next, I'm going to grab my ladle and start moving some of the sauce over to the sprouts. That's it, looking nice. There we go. So I've got another spoon, got my prawns ready to go with the other curry. I'm just going to stir that in. And what will happen with the sprouts is they break down and they mix in with the sauce nicely, and it's boiling up nicely there now. So I'll just let that boil up and simmer a little bit. So next thing's next. We're going to take our prawns and we're just going to add them to the curry. Really, I should have put the fish sauce in earlier after I put the cream in, but I forgot all about it, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, let's just mix these prawns in like so. Put them into the mix. Oh, that's looking good, looking good. Take fish sauce, and you can buy that in most stores. I think I got this one from a little Tesco Extra on the corner. Generally, I'll put in 2 spoonfuls and see how it tastes. There we go. Give that a try, see how that flavours up. Oh yeah, you can smell that already, sort of thing. It's like a salty fish-based aroma. So mix that in. As I say, with the fish sauce, you don't need much. It is a very strong flavour to it. So it's just to add add to the flavour really. So we'll mix that in nicely there.
I think the sprout one has got a slight more of a bite behind it because of that Madras marinade.
Oh yeah, that's coming along nicely. Nice little texture going on in there, and it smells nice. You know, you can smell like the sort of hint of sprouts behind the curry sauce. There we go, just give it the sprout curry there. Looking very nice. Tasting very nice, fair play. As you can see, you know, the shape of the sprouts has gone. It's got more of this sort of texture sort of thing. It's really good, really good. Okay, so I've got the Bombay potatoes on. They're just warming up now. The sprout curry's ready to go. The prawn curry's pretty much ready to go. So we're on the home stretch. And we're gonna do the pilau rice. It's a little microwave jobby. I could have stir fried it, but for the sake of the fact that I haven't got another pan to stir fry it in, I'm just gonna pierce the lid several times, and we'll microwave it now for 2 minutes. There we go. Shut the door. 2 minutes. Okay, so now we're in the home stretch. The rice is done, the curry's done, the Bombay potatoes are done, and the sprout curry's done. So now it's time to dish it up and have the moment of truth. Okay, so the first things first is to get the rice on the plate. That's it. And now upside down. Next things next is we're going to stick some of the prawn curry over the rice. Like so. That's that. That should be enough. There's your Bombay potatoes on the side. Some of the sprout curry. I mean, I say it's a sprout curry, it's got a thicker density than your regular curry sort of thing, but it does make for a nice side dish. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so that's the meal, ready to go. We've got our prawn curry with pilau rice, Bombay potatoes, and a sprout curry side. Okay, so I'm going to tuck into this now before it gets cold. So have a great day, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.